The Agriculture Department is expected to hold another briefing on the status of Limpopo's foot and mouth disease outbreak. Officials say over 15,000 cattle have been affected in Limpopo's Vhembe district. This is far worse than what was anticipated initially. The area has been quarantined and further assessments will be made to determine if cattle need to be culled. eNCA reporter Heidi Giokos is tracking the story for us live from where we're expecting that briefing to take place. So Heidi, just how seriously is the department taking this issue?
So, Tembekile, we do understand that the first case of foot and mouth disease was detected in November. However, they did not take this too seriously, thinking that it was just a number of cattle. However, this has obviously worsened over the last 2 months. It is now 15,000 cows that have been infected by foot and mouth disease. And the department had held a briefing last week, Friday, to assess how serious this situation is. And today they are sitting with the department is sitting with the Red Meat Industry Forum, as well as other, very important people to discuss how serious this is. And the very big question is, what are they going to do? Are they going to cull these animals, or are they going to treat them? And the big question comes in, if they do cull them, are they going to compensate these farmers? Or if they treat them, there's obviously a risk, whether or not the other animals will be infected or not. We do know that it's just 15,000 cattle. We do know that this disease does infect sheep and pig as well, but we do know that it's only cattle at this stage. And the department needs to act swiftly, because we do know when this happened previously, it took almost 2.5 years for South Africa to get its suspension lifted to export meat again. And we do know that the red meat industry in South Africa is a very big one, so they cannot afford to lose any more money.
Is there concern that the outbreak could spread beyond the Vhembe district where it has now been detected?
So that is a very concerning question, given the fact that we cannot have this spread, into other areas. But we do understand that these 15,000 cattle have been quarantined and have been contained within the Vhembe Limpopo area, and that is why there is not much concern that this will infect further animals. However, with these cases, you never really know what happens, because it spreads so quickly. But they say they have contained it in that area, and that's why that area has been quarantined. And this is also why they're holding this meeting today, to decide on whether to cull them or treat them, because they need to act swiftly in case the disease spreads even further.
The impact of this will no doubt be felt by farmers at a financial level, because much of the people there rely on the cattle to eke out some sort of living. Do we know what is being done as far as financial assistance? Have we been able to gauge just the level of worry among the farming community about what this could mean for their bottom line?
So that is also a very big concern, I think, for the department, to establish what they are going to do, because this outbreak, you can't determine whether or not this will hit your livestock or not. And this is why the department needs to establish what they are going to do, to know if there should be any sort of compensation and whether or not they should, help these farmers. But at the moment, we are not sure what they are doing to assist these farmers. We just know that they are treating these animals as best as possible, and they will then obviously decide what to do once they quantify the issue. But we do know that there is an element of compensation that will kick in if they do decide to cull these animals, to try and assist them.
And beyond the culling, Heidi, just on the financial implications, they are going to be felt, no doubt, because we know Eswatini and Botswana, very quickly after South Africa confirmed that the number of cattle infected by foot and mouth disease has now risen to 15,000. Those two countries then said, hold on, South Africa, we're going to ban, at least temporarily, beef imports from your country.
So Eswatini, Namibia, Botswana and Zimbabwe have banned exports, or rather imports, coming in from South Africa. And this is because it's obviously done as a precautionary measure. But I do think that because it's 15,000 cows and they're not too sure about how serious this situation really is here in South Africa, they then ban imports coming in from South Africa. And you must understand that this is a very big concern for the red meat industry, because South Africa is a very big exporter of red meat. And, I was doing some research and I actually saw that it's about 60,000 tons of red meat that South Africa exports per year, which is a very large amount. And once this is stopped, obviously the economic impact kicks in. And this is something that the department has highlighted. It is a very big concern for the department in terms of the economic impact and what it will do, because previously we do know that the South African economy lost millions when foot and mouth hit us in about 2011 to 2014. So that's why they need to act very swiftly to establish what they're going to do and ensure that that suspension is lifted as soon as possible, and it doesn't take another 2.5 years, so that South Africa won't lose the millions that it lost previously.